nice to see the physical stuff, like videos of how brain development works. Is really interesting to me. It's kind of tangible and being a part of that in the future. But actually, right now, where you guys are, it's like you can't really be part of it. But it is frustrating when you feel you should be excited, like there's something really amazing that's going to happen, but you're not excited yet because it's not really happened. Are we all first timers?
Well, so I brought my missus little enough since she was like 16 months old,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and she's nearly 15 now. So.
Right. Oh, you're an old timer then. And I've got two kids and I went through the same stuff. I felt like I wasn't a part of it until she needed to go into labour, and then she was 2 weeks late, and then that was my fault as well. So then we went in for the induction and for it to be induced. And when my first thought was being born, the World Cup were on, and I thought it'd be really nice, and I'll buy her a card for the TV so she can watch TV watching in hospital. And she sat reading while I was watching a match, and there was about 20 minutes left, and she went, "I think we need to go down to the delivery suite." 20 minutes left. It's an England match in the World Cup. We can't go down there. You're joking, aren't you? Like, and I just didn't get. I just didn't get that. She felt that was. She felt everything that was happening, but it still felt at that point, knowing 20 minutes later we were going to be in a delivery suite, was still abstract. Think about things that dads worry about. Some of the stuff that dads have asked us about has been about feeding. How do you get involved in it? If you choose to breastfeed or bottle feed, babies still need feeding, and you're still part of the caring team around your baby. So has anyone thought about it yet, or are you just going off what your missus says? Because that's what I did. She told me what we were doing and I went along with it.
You find your own way though as well. I found that was my time.
Yeah.
Do you know when you say you don't have your time, or like someone touched on before, your life changes. It does, but it gives you your time. You used to be able to walk away on your own, do what you wanted to do. You'll be little, and now it's a good change in your life.
Absolutely.
As I found out, yeah. But the feeding time's a good time for your bonding, like you say. It's a really good time for it, I found.
Absolutely. Babies will tell you what they need and how they need it, and they're really subtle, but they've got their own cues, and every baby is totally different. So when they need feeding, there'll be a certain cry, and you'll know it. After a couple of weeks, you'll know what that cry is, and you'll know if they need feeding or changing, and you'll know what to go and do it. We had a question a couple of weeks ago from a guy. He said when he's got skin to skin with his baby, what happens if the baby starts trying to feed? It's like, well, they might do. Do you know what I mean? Because the babies, they just feed wherever they are. You know, you put your hand in the mouth and they'll try and feed it on it. They might try and feed, but the good thing is that they feel safe with you. They feel like you're there. They feel part of mum because they've come out of mum. They don't feel separate. So when they're with you, if they're trying to feed, they feel part of you. That's a good thing. And it also helps you to recognise their feeding cues, because if they start rooting for a nipple or sucking on their hands or mouth's going, you've got the time to do it, haven't you? You know, that skin to skin is amazing. Have you talked about that today? You'll probably talk about that tomorrow morning with the breastfeeding team.
Yeah, they're doing all the bottle feed.
Yeah, so tomorrow it's they work for the same charity I work for, and they're amazing. I ask them questions because they're really knowledgeable. But yeah, skin to skin. If you can do it, the sooner you can do it after your baby's born, the better for you and for the baby. It helps them regulate their body temperature, which helps them to be able to do it in the future. And because they can regulate the body temperature, it calms them down quite a lot. But without the skin, so if you've got a top on, that is kind of interrupted a bit. So get your top off and get baby on your chest. They won't let you do it in surgery, apparently. So if it's a cesarean or anything like that, you might not be able to do it straight away. You might have to wait an hour. But yeah, they'll encourage you to do it in the delivery suites. I've talked to my missus a couple of times. I've done conferences with health visitors, and I've talked about some really deep kind of personal things between me and my missus that we don't really talk about now because it's from a long time ago. So I've kind of delved into it a little bit with her, and it's still difficult. It's still hard to put across how I was feeling at that time, you know. And that's 18, 20 years after. There's things that you know in the back of your mind you want to talk about, but you have no idea how to do it. No idea what to say, or how it's going to go, or how it's going to react, or even if you're allowed to have those questions, or if you're allowed to think those things. It's strange, isn't it?
I'm not squeamish, but I have no interest in seeing stuff. Put it that way. That's why before, when the placenta was out, I had a quick look at it and thought, yeah, it just looks like liver and onions. I'm not going to go over and touch it. Doesn't interest me. And the missus is like, oh, do you not want to get up, have a look, these veins on it and stuff? No, doesn't interest me at all. And I check the transfer news on my phone. Does that interest me? My brother, our kid, my twin brother, my nephew's 2.5 years old now, and he described it as watching his favourite pub burn down. He said he was at the top, and that he didn't want to go down and look, but the midwife, who he said was a bit more old-fashioned, made him. And my biggest fear is, and I've had kind of a conversation with Miss about it, that I'm going to get something similar, but in that instance it will not be about me. I don't want to make it about me. If that happens, I'm frightened to death that somebody's going to go, get down here and look. No, I'm not interested in it. I don't want to see it.
Has anyone's missus actually turned around and said, you definitely ain't having a look down there?
Yeah.
Stay at the top part.
Stay at the top half, look down there.
Don't go down the business end.
exactly.
fellas.
Well, she's not turned around and said yay or nay. I think she'd just turn around and say it's up to you. I just don't want to see
I
that.
ain't going to change your mind on the day.
No, not at all.
We had a question
It's
a
not for
couple of
me.
weeks ago about the dad was really honest, and he just went, when we're in that room, although everyone's told us everything that's going to happen, I have no idea what to do. And that kind of fits in with that, doesn't it? Because you know what you don't want to do. You know you don't want to go down the business end and see all the stuff that's happening. And you know you want to be supportive for your partner, but then you could be in there for 20 hours. What do you do for 20 hours? There's only so many ways you can say, oh, it's going to be all right, love. There's not. You can't, do you know what I mean? You can't go for 20 hours doing it. So you think about it beforehand, it's useful, but midwives will be great. Just say, I don't want to go down that end, and they'll not make you. They'll be brilliant. Just be vocal about it. You'll be stood there talking to your partner, and then the midwife will assume that because you haven't really been involved in talking to the midwives and stuff, they'll just sort of drag you around thinking you're overwhelmed or something. But if you talk to them about it, they'll be fine. Everything's about what you want. Especially the midwives here are brilliant with including dads.
She's had me reading these beastie, long, like, countdown things, trying to get her to relax and stuff. It's all going to be doing it in bed at the moment while she's sleeping soundly at night, but then she wants me to do it while she's giving birth. I'm thinking, how's this going to help? Like, how is it going to...
They've got some research into hypnobirthing that says that it does help to relax, but there's loads of other things that can help you relax. My wife wanted to watch Friends on repeat, and that helped her. So there's plenty of things you can do, and if she thinks it'll help, then take it with you, but play it by ear.
I was thinking, like, I've got a lot of data on my phone, just like bang Netflix on for as long as it takes.
That's it.
That must do the trick.
Absolutely, there's loads of box sets.
Don't suggest Football Manager, whatever you do. 20-hour birth. I'll just take Football Manager with me.
I think on the tour here as well, they have music players in the rooms, but one of them has a tape. So if you've got some 80s, now 17 or whatever on tape, bring it with you. They do have CD players, but then who's got CDs nowadays? But yeah, the rooms are massive as well out there, so they'll move the bed out of the way. There's a bit of a soft area for you to have a kip in the middle of the night if you need it. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff going on. You'll see all that tomorrow. Main message for me is talk. Be aware that things might affect you and you might need to talk about it with other people. And your health visitors and midwives are there for you. They're not some strange person who just comes in every so often to weigh your baby. They want to make sure you're all right, because if you're all right, your baby's all right, and that's the main thing, you know. Get on our Facebook page and have a look at the information we've got on there. There's a few other ones. We share quite a lot of stuff from other professionals who talk about dads, so have a look at those as well. And if you've got any questions or anything you want to fire at us, what we tend to do is when we've had questions, we do a generic reply and put it on the Facebook page or the website so that other dads can benefit from it as well. So you can do that as well. Any other things that we're not talked about?
I was glad you mentioned the skin on skin thing, because that's also some lad posted a picture on Facebook with him just topless with a baby on him. I'm thinking, how have you ended up in that position?
It's
He
strange.
led in the bed, I don't know where his missus was.
Yeah.
He just led there. I'm thinking, what's going on during the birth? How's he having his shirt off?
It's strange, isn't it? Because I thought that when I first saw it, like years ago. And they'll say, Dad, get your top off and give you the baby. If you're not ready for it, it might be like, oh, no, I'm all right for it, you know. Go and give them a clean first. It's brilliant. Skin to skin's brilliant. And we're trying to get everybody to do it. And not just straight after the birth. Keep it going and go at home as well, you know. When they get to about 16, 17, it gets a bit awkward. It's a really nice way to spend time with your babies. Read to them as well, conversation taking, singing, all that stuff's great. We had a dad who we interviewed for our videos a little while ago, and he had twins, and he was in a heavy metal band, and he had his guitar out and he was singing Metallica to the twins in a little bouncy chair, and it was dead cute. He wasn't really going for it, it was kind of quite subtle, but it was nice. And then a bit later on, we asked him to tell them a story so we could film him, and he told them the story of the orphan who lived on Tatooine. And apparently he only finished it about 3 weeks later. It took him so long to do the whole Star Wars trilogy, but he told them the whole lot. If you get attachment right, their reactions to things when they're teenagers is going to be far better. It affects things like skin conditions and allergies and like tons and tons of stuff. And it's really simple communication with baby that you do with an adult. You know, tell them about what you're doing. Carry them around. If you're doing the washing up, tell them that you're doing the washing up. Tell them what everything's called. It might be little, and they might not understand the word, but it's the communication that's important.
Does anyone else notice like when the missus lay there at night and like baby's not moving about, and then they start hearing your voice, they'll start kicking and stuff like that? You found that, yeah? Yeah, I find that absolutely crazy.
It's amazing, isn't it? And
Yeah.
they recognise your voice and mum's voice. You can see light through
You
the...
recognise me dog?
Yeah, oh absolutely.
Well, he does, yeah.
The stuff that we're finding out over the last 15, 20 years, that the amount of communication babies do is phenomenal. So when we've asked the question, when did your relationship with your baby start? And some of them have said, or when they were about 6 months, or when they were 12 months, or when they started like reacting to me when I was talking to them. But actually, they know you before they're even born. And the relationship starts when they hear your voice. So they hear your voice while they're in utero, and they recognise it, and it can calm them down. Each of those brain connections, I mean, it's literally firing neurons, so they're getting brain connections between neurons every time you interact with them. So if that's a positive interaction, that's making their brain patterns work the way that we need them to work when they're older as well.